All right, guys. Today we're in the kitchen. We're going to be frying some taters and frying some crappie. All right, this is the way I do it, not the way you have to do it. This is just the way I do it. It's the way I love it. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that today. So here we. All right, guys. The only thing we need is crappie, taters, salt. Gotta have salt. Gotta have salt. And this has already been opened, but it is Andy's seasoning. It's fish breading. Andy's red is what you want. Red does not mean hot either. They have a Cajun that is hot. So you want the Andy's fish breading red. That's what we're using. I don't know if you can read that right there, but that says Andy's. We buy it in these big containers because it's a little cheaper that way. And we use a lot of it anyway because I'm always fishing. So we got some crappie fillets here. Got some nice pretty crappie fillets in here. So we're going to be frying this stuff up. I'm going to go out and get the grease hot. And we got the taters. Got to cut those taters pretty thin. Those taters have to be sliced pretty thin. Speaking of slicing thin, I sliced all those potatoes with the Cold Steel Fin Hawk. Yep, that's what I sliced them with. Right there. Cold Steel Fin Hawk. It worked pretty good. It's a little thick for slicing taters, but as long as you're slicing them thin like this, you know, it's great. Done a fine job. Done a fine job. Nice, good grip. You know, while I was slicing taters, if a zombie came in, I probably could have cut his throat also. You know, probably just throwed him in the pot. Anyway, that's it. All right, guys. We'll go outside and get some other things rolling here. All right, guys. We're out here in the garage now. We're fixing to get this thing going. You're going to need some beer flats. Got to have beer flats. One for fish, one for taters. We're going to line that with paper towels, all right? Got to have a scooper, all right? Got to have your cast iron pot. Got to have a lighting mechanism. That weed burner torch works really good, actually. Keeps the hair on your knuckles instead of off of them. And then you always got to have a temperature gauge, right? Let's see how warm the bed of the gator is today. It is 70 degrees in the bed of the gator. All right, we're going to like this puppy. We are going to like this puppy. Give me a second, get this stuff going. Oh yeah, I hear it coming already. All right, good thing about this weed burner is it has a torch. Look at that. Whoosh. Whoosh. There we go. Now we can get that thing shut back off. Whew. I'm dangerous as hell when it comes to fire, ain't I? All right. We have got a fire in the garage. We've got our weed burner. Hang that thing up so it can cool off. All right, guys. That's what we got. Now, let's set that pot on there nice and gently. There we go. And make sure you got it pretty well center. All right. Now we're going to wait on that to get up to about, we're going to try to hold that around 300, 350 degrees is what we're going to try to hold that at. All right. So I'm just going to chill here. Kind of do some little bit of prep work here probably actually. I'll have to go in the house, get the fish, get the taters, but I'm going to start lining that with paper towels. All right. Be back in a minute. All right, guys. I got 2 layers of paper towels in each one of my beer flats. I went and got my taters. Went and got my fish. I got my salt ready. Lots of salt. All right, got everything else there. Got my Coca-Cola going. So, let's see. This is what that looks like. It's nice and powdery stuff. That's what that Andy's looks like. There is a good look at that bag. Because that is some great stuff. I've been using this shit for years. It is awesome. All right, let's see. Let's see how hot we are. Give that a shot. 280. 282. That's what we're at. Have to turn that up just a little bit more. Give her the old adjuster-roo. Make sure that's all the way on. All right, we're gonna get that up around 300, 325. I always stay between 300 and 350, somewhere in that vicinity. If I'm doing hush puppies, I turn it down to 250. Because you want your hush puppies done in the middle, you don't want them nasty, right? In the middle. So, and if your grease ever gets too hot, throw taters in it, man. Throw taters in it. The moisture inside the potatoes will cool your grease. Pro tip. There you go. All right. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait on this to get a little hotter. All right. We'll be back. All right, guys. Something else about my cooker. That is just a standard Bass Pro cooker. That is all that is. Standard Bass Pro cooker. Cast iron pot. I don't even know where in the heck it came from. And that is a old dog crate, right? So that way it's up higher. I don't have to bend over so far. But that's just one of those El Cheapos from Bass Pro or Academy, or I bought these back whenever they were like 20 bucks, 28 bucks. I mean, I've had it a long time. Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, we're hot. We're hot. Time to throw some food in. All right, guys. I back off on my grease a little bit. We're right on almost 250, right at or 350, pretty much right on the dot. But I got the fish put in. It ended up heating up really quick, so I wasn't able to show you the breading situation. But I'll get you a video of that here in a minute. But it's cooking. All right, let me show you what I did here. All right, I'll move these taters back a little bit. Take your fish, do about so many fillets, just throw it straight in the bag. Okay, I don't know, about that many fillets probably. Maybe another one. Okay, then all you're gonna do is zip that up, and it's just shake and bake, bud. Well, shake and fry, right? That's what you're doing. Shake that up real good. Make sure that gets all over it. And then just throw it on your fish, or throw it in your fryer, right? All right, here we go. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, that's just about done already. Looks just about done. Look at the size of that fillet right there. All right. Alrighty then. We're gonna get ready to take those out in just a minute. And another thing, guys, don't ever do this on a floor you care about. Alright? Do it out on the ground unless you're on a floor you don't care about, because you will get grease everywhere. I mean, you're gonna make a mess. That's just all there is to it. You got all this grease, bubbling around, and alright, that's ready to be taken out. That's ready. All right, look at there. Cats are coming. Wiener dog's over there. Yeah, they know what time it is. They're afraid they think I'm gonna drop a piece. They're wrong, I hope. All right, be back in a minute. All right, guys, we got some more in there going. Here's what I'm talking about right there. That is it. Crappie fillets, yes. And salt them. Don't be scared of that salt. Salt them, all right? Salt them. All right, this is what they look like after, when you pull them out to throw them into the grease. That's what you're looking at right there. Nice, that's what you're looking for. A good even coating, all right? And don't just leave the fish in there and just wait, throwing back and forth. Take your fish, make sure your fish is dry, all right? Make sure it's relatively dry. Make sure your taters are dry, all right? You don't want a bunch of water in there. Do 2 pans of fish before you do any potatoes, all right? Because that's going to kind of season your oil, all right? It's going to season your oil by doing those 2 things of fish first, all right? Then we're going to put some of that seasoning on those potatoes too, all right? I'll show you how to do that. But don't get ahead of yourself by putting fish in that before it's ready, before you're ready to put it in the fryer, okay? If you just leave your fish set in that, and if your fish has any moisture in it, it kind of creates it. It kind of makes that powder pasty. All right, it'll kind of ruin your mix. All right. So let's see. I know this is a very shaky video. This whole video is going to be kind of shaky. I'm constantly moving here. because, I mean, it don't take long to cook this stuff, so you got to be on your toes. Whenever you're doing it all by yourself, you know, you got to be on your toes, because things get done quickly. All right, that fish there is already, I mean, pretty well there. So I'm going to go with some taters next, all right? All right, I got to take these out, and then we'll do taters. Hold on. Guys, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see how that seasoning is in that oil. All right, so that kind of seasons it. All right, we're going to take these taters off. I'm just going to grab some of the seasoning out of here. I'm just going to sprinkle it all over these taters, all right? Just kind of sprinkle it around, all right? And just kind of move it around with my hands, okay? That's all I'm going to do. Sprinkle some of that on there, okay? All right, now I'm going to take some of these and pile them up on top of my spatula thing there. I'm going to just pile them up on there, and then I'm just going to set them down in that grease, okay? All right, that's what's going to happen next. All right, hold on. All right. See how full that looks now? That came really close to bubbling over, so you have to watch as you're putting your taters in. Don't put too many taters, because like I said, that adds water to your grease. And it will make your bubbles come up over, and then you have a big mess, and people get burnt, so you got to be careful. This pot is probably a 5-inch tall pot, I don't know, and 4-inch tall pot, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, I used 3/4 of this gallon here. 3/4 of a gallon of vegetable oil. That's all I ever use is vegetable oil. I know a lot of people use different oils. I just use vegetable oil. Fine with me. It's always worked for me. All right, we got them taters going. When they get to floating real good, and whenever they get a nice brown color to them, we'll pull them out. And you have to cut them thin as you can slice them. If you have a slicer that's where you're able to slice them real thin, you know, do it. See that one? See that one right there? Can you see that one? That one is almost perfect, all right? That is a perfect slice of potato right there. All right, some of these are a little thicker, some even a little thinner, but that's what we got going on here. All right, now, like I said, we still got some seasoning going on in here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little more seasoning in there. Stir that up, okay? Just kind of stir it up, so that way it kind of gets on all the taters. Then, yeah, you got to get it all over you. That's just the way cooking fish is. There's that other batch that I just took out. That's the color you guys are looking for, all right? You're looking for that color, okay? That's the color you want. You know, if it's lighter than that, it might not be done. If you go any darker than that, you're going to be starting to burn. So you got to watch. And this happens fast, because you're cooking at 350 degrees. So this happens fast. The taters take longer than the fish most of the time. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, we ain't got a tape measure for you. Yeah, it's a 4-inch tall pot. It's a 4 by, I don't know, 11. Kind of an oddball there. 4 by 11 pot. That's what we got. So, anyway, 3/4 of a gallon in a 4 by 11 pot. Okay. All right, get rid of this tape measure. We don't need it no more. I gotta grab this. We're gonna stir these taters around, see what they're looking like. They're getting close. They are getting close. With taters, you just need to keep stirring them around. Just kind of move them around, because if not, sometimes they'll get stuck together. You know how taters are. All right, I told you the taters would probably cool my oil off. Let's see what I got going on here. Yeah, it did. See there? I'm at 305 degrees by putting those taters in. Before I put the taters in, I know I was running right like 350. So it will cool your oil down, all right? But those taters are getting darn close. Darn close. So when you pull them taters out, same way. Salt the crap out of them. All right, be back in a minute. All right, guys. Pull them taters out. Salt them. Salt, 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 salt. I know they already have that seasoning on them, but salt them. Salt them and give them a good shake in the box. All right? Give them a good shake. Okay, now we're going to do some more fish. We're going to go fish, taters, fish, taters, fish, taters. What we're going to do. All right, here we go. All right. We got more fish in. Like I said, we're going to do fish, taters, back and forth. But eventually I'm going to be doing just 2 taters, I'm sure. But, yeah, don't ever do your taters first. Always do 2 batches of fish. So Watch that grease as it's getting hot, so that way you don't get it too hot. And have to throw in some potatoes to cool it down right off the bat. You know what I mean? When you're first starting, make sure you do 2 batches of fish. So that way it seasons that oil a little bit better for your potatoes. But I already had a sample of the fish. It's pretty darn good. And I think I'll sample me a tater. Look how it swelled up like a chip. You hear that crunch? When you bite into it and there's a crunch, you know you're doing it right, you know? Now see, this one's a little thicker. So we don't have that crunch, but it has a little more potato taste too, though. So, that's what we got. That's what we got going on. We'll just kind of keep going back and forth here. But always take your spatula, keep things moving around a little bit. You don't have to worry about the fish as much as you do the taters, and them taters will stick together, you know. But, see, I just threw that in there, and that stuff already looking close. Now, naturally, if you got thicker slabs of fish, you know, you're going to have to cook it a little longer. My recommendation is, if you're cooking anything that's big slabs of fish, just cut it up into smaller pieces. That's what I do. Just cut it, just chunk it up, you know. See the size of that one right there? Let me get him out of there. See the size of that right there? That's about as big as you want to go. That one right there, that's about as big as you want to go. You know, if they would have been much bigger than that, most of the time crappie you don't have to chunk up. You can just throw the whole fillet in. But now if I'm cooking white bass, that's a totally different recipe. That's a totally different day. But if I'm cooking anything bigger than, say, you know, your standard, I don't know, 9 to 12 inch crappie, I don't ever do nothing special. You know what I mean? I don't ever cut them up. I just kind of leave them as they are. All right, these are getting close to being done now. I'm gonna pull these out real quick. Be right back. All right, guys, I just throwed some more potatoes in. See how it just really churns up that oil a lot with that moisture that's inside your tater. That's why you want your taters to be dry as you can get them whenever you throw them in the grease. And another thing, I just took that fish out. As soon as you pull that fish out and throw it in the box, salt it right then. Don't wait. You want to salt everything while it's hot. All right, so that salt will get inside the pores of that seasoning, and then, you know, on your taters, do it. Throw the salt on everything. I mean, when it's hot. As soon as you pull it out, throw it in the box. Immediately throw down that spatula and grab your salt and salt it. All right. Yeah. See how them taters are kind of pooling to one side there? That's why you got to keep stirring them around, because they'll always just kind of pull to one side or the other, and then they won't cook as thoroughly. So you got to move them around. All right. I know they make these fryers nowadays that are big and they stand up tall, and the heat's regulated, or I can't remember what the heck the name brand of them are, but they make these things, and they're like $400 or $500 for these fryers, you know. And if you're frying stuff 24/7, you know, if you're frying stuff for like a big group of people, they are awesome. I know some people that's got them, and they've, you know, forked out the money for them. I'm normally only cooking for about four or five people, no more than usually 6 people. And I do have 2 of these. All right, 2 of these little ones like this. Well, the other one I have is even older than this one, and it's tall, so I don't have to set it on a box. But either way, these are cheap. They work. Long as you buy a cast iron pot for it, because the cast iron is what will regulate your heat. The pots that come with these that has a nice basket and everything, sure, they're okay for taters, all right? But when you're cooking fish, you need a more regular, you know, you need your heat to be regular. And another thing, if it's windy outside, that's going to be blowing a lot of your heat away. So try to get inside. Today it's not windy at all. I could have cooked outside, no big deal. But I've just got a bad habit of cooking right at the end of the garage. So that way, if the wind does come up, you know, I still have regulated heat. So that's why whenever you've seen my smoking videos, when I'm smoking meat, you know, I'm always doing it right here, just inside the door of the garage. And if it gets too smoky in here, I set up a fan and blow the smoke outside of the garage, you know. So, but anyway, those cookers that I was talking about, they're great, but they're not necessary to go spend $500 on unless you're cooking for, 8 or 10 or 20 something people. If you're cooking for 20 people 3 times a year to 5 times a year, yeah, I think you probably ought to buy one. I think it'd be money well invested. And if you're cooking for that many people, you ought to have those guys to chip in order to buy one. If everybody chips in to buy one, that'd be great. But like I said, I still kind of do it the old way, I guess, with these older style cookers anyway, I should say. But anyway, make sure you use cast. That's for sure. That'll definitely regulate your heat a lot better. But all right, them taters there are getting awful close. I'm gonna have to switch them out and throw in some fish. All right, be back. And that's just another way you can tell that things are done too. Whenever things go to floating and just sitting on top of the grease, then it's pretty well done too. But you can always put as much cook to it as you want, But these are pretty well done. Go ahead and give them a scoop. See why you got to have that big scooper? All right, we'll try this. Try to not knock that off the propane tank. All right, we got them chased down now. All right, throw them in there. Now, like I said, guys, while it's good and hot, give that some grease. Give that some salt. And then shake them up a little bit. And salt them again. Alright? Alright, I gotta get some fish on. Penny. What do you think, Penny? Huh? We frying fish today? So you bet, Dad, we're frying the fish today. Alright. That's the last of the fish that just went in. Bowl's empty. So that's done. Still got probably 2 more things of taters to do. I always make more taters than what you got fish because people will just sit and literally munch on potatoes and just keep munching. That's just the way it goes. Alright. Just like I just did. Alright, guys. Stir this around a little bit. Now this was what was in the bottom of that bowl. So this did have some water on it, a little bit of moisture on it. So I just went ahead and threw them all in there. It's a little more fish than what I normally cook at a time, but it'll be all right. Let's check our heat. I ain't checked my heat since we got really good and going here. Let's see what we got. 322. All right. So like I said, anywhere between 300 and 350 be just fine. But anyway, we're going to let this cook a little bit and throw on some taters. And another thing, guys, I thought of to tell yous. Nobody likes to eat cold taters and cold fish, right? So you can take this fish, you can take those potatoes, even if you do onion rings. Say you go to a Colton's or a Longhorn Steakhouse, Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, okay, and you buy their bloomin' onions, okay, you bring that home, you bring that bloomin' onion home, you throw that thing in the refrigerator for the night. Sure, the next day, what are you going to want to do? You'll take it out, you'll throw it in the microwave, right? Or you just want to bring it home because you know it's ruined after Anyway, it's not ruined. That's what I'm getting at. If you have an air fryer, I can take tomorrow morning, I can take these potatoes that are left over, and I can take this fish that is left over from today, put that in the air fryer, 390 degrees, something like that, for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, and it will re-crisp this right back up to where it's almost as good as it was right now, just fresh out of the grease. Air fryers are awesome for putting the crisp back on stuff. So, like I said, your bloomin' onions that you always eat at Texas Roadhouse, that you only eat half of the dang things, and so therefore that $20 is gone, however much of them things are. No, bring the stupid thing home. Bring it home. Put it in the refrigerator. The next day, whenever you get ready to eat that thing, throw it in the air fryer. I'm telling you, it brings it back to at least 90% of what it was whenever you got it. All right, so that's just a pro tip that we have found out with an air fryer for fish, onion rings, potatoes, your these tater chips that I make here, French fries or whatever. It just works. But anyway, just wanted to tell you guys that. All right, I got to check on these fish. Oh, Penny just got a little piece of fish, didn't you, Penny? So we just gave her a little piece of fish. She loves it. Another thing, you guys, a lot of people like tartar sauce. You know, I love tartar sauce. But another thing, tartar sauce, ketchup, you know, it's what most people goes with, right? You're going to most likely go with ketchup on that, tartar sauce on that, or ketchup on both. Frank's Red Hot. Original Frank's Red Hot. Regular old Frank's Red Hot. Take you a good squirt of that, about that big, and take you another squirt of ketchup about that big. Take your piece of fish, stir that together. Frank's Head Red Hot, stirred up with ketchup. It's great. It is awesome. All right? It's good stuff. And then I'll dip taters and my fish both into that mix of the Frank's Red Hot with the ketchup. So that's it's kind of the way I roll. Just letting you guys know that Frank's Red Hot and ketchup works great for fish and taters. All right, guys. We got some taters coming along here. They're not done. They're starting to float. They're not done. They don't have that good color yet. See how they don't have that good color yet? Still kind of look like a tater. They don't have that good color. See how these has got that good color in the center? See, it's got that kind of burnt looking color in the middle. Yeah, it's perfect. That one had this crunch to it, didn't it, Penny? Huh? You won't eat a tater. I know you won't. I know you. You will not eat a potato. I know what you will eat. Look at here. Oh, I dropped a piece. Look at that. Oh my goodness, watch her go. Say yeah, Dad. Say yeah, Dad. I love it. All right. Yeah, then we're starting to come along. Pretty good, ain't it, Penny? Say we like that crappie fishing. We like eating crappie. You bet. All right. All right, them taters are getting close. There you go, Penny. Oh, look at her. Watch her go. She says, I love it. All right. Penny? Penny, you like fishing? She loves fishing. She loves fishing because she knows what happens. All right, then we're done. Got to get them pulled out. All right, see ya. All right, guys. I got the last of the taters cooking. Me and Penny's about to call this a day. So, that's it. That's what we got going on here. Salt, oil, Andes, crappie, and taters. All right. We got the last of the taters in. They'll be done here in just a couple minutes. But anyway, all right, guys. If just want to say, if you like what I do here, give me a like. You know, give me a like, comment, subscribe. You know, it's all good. Lets me know if I'm doing something that everybody likes or what. You know, I don't know what to put out if you guys don't. You know, let me know. I like doing the knife videos. Oh, excuse me, I've ate too much already. But I like doing the knife videos, and I've done some fishing videos and some cooking videos, and man, this last video, that video I did on my hats, holy cow, that one blowed up. That's been really good. I don't know how many more videos I could do on hats. You know, that would probably get very redundant. But anyway, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you saw here today, give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. You know, helps me out, lets me know what I need to do here to just to put out content that people wants to see. You know, but anyway, we'll get out of here. We'll do something fun next time, I promise. See ya.